So we're going to get started. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session. The topic for today is really about growing your pipeline, and the importance of kind of doing that once. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Doing that all the time, right? And talking about the importance of that. We're going to talk about some market conditions today. Going to share a little bit of insight. Um, This is really going to be a really valuable webinar for all of you as we talk about today's market conditions. What can you do to take advantage of it? What do you need to do over the next 6, 12, 18 months to get to your goals? So look, if you have questions or anything like that, please ask in the chat. I'll do a quick introduction. My name is Keith Hawken. I am the head of sales and service at Top Producer. Been part of Top Producer now for almost 23 years, and always excited to do these sessions and share knowledge and expertise and give you guys something to take home today. My goal with every session that we do is the 1 to 2 to 3 takeaways that you can take away from this to apply in your business, to think about, to consider, to ultimately help you get to your goals. So that's our goal here, is we want to be a partner in your success. So with that being said, let's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the real estate market conditions. We're going to talk about why it's super important to consistently fill your pipeline. We're going to cover a little bit. Hey, like, why do top agents use Top Producer to grow and manage their business? Like, what is it that they're doing with Top Producer? And then also, how can you get in the action today and dominate your market? I saw, we got, I saw someone from Bowling Green, Ohio. We got South Carolina. We got Ontario. I don't know where the rest of you are, but hey, what can you do right now to, absolutely crush it in your local market? So we're going to kind of talk about that as well. So to kind of kick things off, just for those of you who are new, I think Samantha mentioned she's been with Top Producer for 13 years. For over the last 42 years. So many people don't know this. Top Producer has been around for 42 years. Top Producer has been helping agents build relationships, simplify their day-to-day, and grow their business over the last 4 decades. What does that look like? We really have become an all-in-one business management platform for a real estate professional. Smart follow-up technology. One of the things that we always need help with is, hey, how do I stay engaged with my database, my network? And then we also have, the cutting edge lead generation and marketing automation. That's what we've kind of been known for. As we always like to say, we're not to brag, but we're kind of the OG. We've been doing this for over 4 decades. We have customers who've been with us for decades as well. Samantha herself, who mentioned in the chat, is 13 years now. So it's awesome to see longtime, customers here as well. Let's talk about the market, though. I think it's always super important to ground ourselves. And look, we all know kind of the headwinds that we've been facing, but let's talk about it from a perspective of opportunity, right? There's nothing we can do to change the market. What matters is what we do in this market. Okay, we can't change it, but we can definitely take advantage of it. So let's kind of talk about it. One is, look, I think consumer confidence is growing. Rates are coming down. The NAR is predicting, an average of 6.3 by Q4. I saw some recent studies about just, there's like this pent up demand here. There's a bubble of demand that's going to burst, right? Consumer confidence is growing, combined with better economic, environment. We're going to see improvements in 2024 across the board. Are they going to go back to 2020? No, not right away, but it's a step in the right direction. And I hope you guys are feeling that in your local markets, where conversations you're having today are a little bit more positive, and like, hey, people are starting to be like, hey, I want to start looking, or hey, considering selling. So I think that's really good. And obviously, economic environment is such a driver of that as well, along with life events too. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. First-time home buyers, right? First-time home buyers is increase year over year. It's going to continue increasing. And why? Well, one, that millennial audience, a lot of them are where a lot of the demand's coming from, right? They're feeling more confident. They're ready to really, buy their first home. So we're going to see first-time home buyers play a larger role in whose journey you're going to participate in, right? That's a big jump year over year. It's going to continue this year. I think that's really positive. More people in the market is a good thing. In terms of transactions, right, we're expecting 4.3 million in 2024, which is 11% better than last year. I think the best way to look at it is I think this comes with just confidence and economic environment to summarize it. And then you also have just, these different groups of people kind of ready to go, specifically, millennials, where their confidence in the market's growing, which, a lot of them are going to be first time home buyers. But there's one really important statistic that doesn't get talked about enough. And it's this. Regardless of the market, okay, 28 million people move each year. Okay. Different groups, different, cohorts of that group. But at the end of the day, 28 million people are going to move this year. 28 million people are going to move next year. Right? It's about 8.5% of your database, your network is going to move this year. It's crazy to think about, like, but if you have, 100 people in your contact list right now, 8.5% of those are going to make a move this year. 8.5 are going to do it next year. The one thing that's really important, and this is something I want you guys to like really sink in, is whoever is the closest to the client wins. And it's not whoever is the closest to the client when they're ready to buy and sell that wins. It's whoever is the closest to the client during their entire journey that wins. What do I mean by that? Right? When you think about home ownership and you think about transactions, right? Life events are really the driver of that, right? My desire to own a home, desire to move up into a bigger home. I want to be closer to my family and friends, change in a family situation, job, related relocation or move, desire to downsize up, people want to upgrade, at the same time people want to downsize, retirement. There's all these life events that really drive someone to, a real estate transaction. And when you think about that 28 million, right? When I said that they're going to move, what I meant was 28 million people are going to buy, 28 million are going to sell, 28 million of that group. Some are going to buy, some are going to sell, some are going to rent. You can't make them do that, but the agents that are closest to the person at that point of transaction are the ones that are going to get the business. And when you think about home tenure, right? Like, 2% are like 1 year less, 2 to 3 years, 12%, 30% of people are right in that window of that 4 to 5 years, right? Before they transact. I was talking to someone recently and I looked at my own journey. You guys aren't gonna like this. I bought and sold 3 times now in 15 years with 3 different real estate professionals. And it's interesting when I say the person who's closest wins because it's fact. I look at my most recent transaction, the agent I chose was the closest to me when that moment, right? And my moment was, I wanted a bigger home. So my motivation was I wanted to upgrade from what I was in. And there was an agent who had been closest to me and my family well before we ever came to that conclusion. That's the agent who got my business, right? That my agent who helped me buy that home that I ended up selling wasn't close to me, helped me. It was great experience, awesome service, loved everything they did, no complaints. They just weren't close to me and my family throughout our journey after the fact. And I think it's really, really important for us to be aware of that is how are you staying close to people? We're going to talk about that a little bit. Because at the end of the day, you need to be close to them well before they get to this point of transacting. You cannot just be there when they are ready to buy and sell. And this leads me into this. Look, the markets are always going to change. You can't influence the market. It is what it is. The economic environment we all live in today, outside of our control. But look, I've been doing this for a long time, right? The agents who absolutely are crushing it are constantly adding new people to their network and they're staying close to their existing network, right? And if it comes back to that point of whoever's the closest wins, it's never more important than right now. And when I say staying close, I mean being a resource, providing value, being part of their life, not all every day, right? Could be, once a quarter, a couple times a year, whatever it is. You just need to stay close and be a valued part of that consumer's journey. And at the same time, you need to add new people. As a small business owner, how are new people finding, how are you getting in front of new people to talk to them about your services and how awesome you are and how you can help them? Like, let's go back a second. How you can help them with that desire to own a home and achieve that. This is like absolutely critical to build, a sustainable business. Is you've got to stay close to those that you already have and you got to add new people. So before we get into a couple of ideas I have for you today, right? I want this to be a little bit of like a thought-provoking exercise for all of you on here today. Thinking about kind of recent experiences could be, Q1, Q4 into Q1. Like you can think about today versus tomorrow, right? Ask yourself this: how many transactions do you want over the next 18 months? Okay. Um, put a number down, right? Whatever it is. Some of you might say, oh, you know what? I would like, you know, 10. Some of you might be like, I want 50. Maybe some of you are like, oh, you know what? 5 would be awesome, right? Whatever that is, put it down, right? Ask yourself that question. What am I looking for in the next year and a half? And the reason we're doing this is, I'll summarize in a minute, is, hey, now, how are you generating leads or meeting new people today? So when we come back to our core fundamental of, gosh, I need to add new people, I need to get in front of more consumers to talk to them about my services and be a value add. How are you doing that? Okay. And then the other question is, how are you staying close with everyone in your real estate network? How do you ensure, if I was your client, that instead of me using another real estate professional, that I just use you, right? What do and think about, all those clients you've helped today. Ask yourself, am I close with them? Like, gosh, if they decided tomorrow to list, would they come to me? Because the thing is, in this market, everything's earned, nothing's given. And consumers have shown that, there's always stats, it's been around for as long as I've been around, which is, hey, 90% of people said they would use their realtor, 10% actually do, right? And there's a huge disconnect. So I hope everyone, ask yourself these 3 questions. Here's my goals over the next year and a half. Here's what I'm doing or not doing in terms of generating leads or meeting new people today. And then here's what I'm doing to stay close with everyone in your network. And when I say everyone, I'm not just talking about past clients, sphere. I'm talking about, leads, new consumers, everyone that you have in your database. Is how are you staying close to them? How are you providing value during their journey, whatever it might be. Okay. Really what this looks like though is I love to use the fishing analogy. If we know, I'm going to use this analogy, that 8.5% of the fish in a lake are going to bite this year. Okay. That's what statistics say. 8.5% of consumers are going to move this year. So 8.5% are going to bite this year. Would you rather fish out of a lake with a few fish, or would you rather fish out of a lake that's constantly stocked? I know which one I would pick. It's the one that's constantly stocked, right? I would rather, if I'm gonna only get if only 8.5% of the fish are gonna bite, right? Definitely gonna want to fish out the one that has a lot. Okay. And it's super important. And when we think about that, right, it's not about just this year, right? It's also about next year and the year after, right? The things that you do today are going to influence your earnings in 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, 24 months, and so on, right? We've got to build, a sustainable business. And to do that, it's going to come back to those 2 things, and we're going to highlight those. So one of the things that Top Producer has been doing is, I've mentioned to you, for over 40, some odd years, we've really helped agents stay close. We always have helped agents stay close. Where we've kind of moved to is, hey, how do we help agents stock their lake? If we come to the realization that, gosh, I would rather fish out of the one that's constantly stocked, how do we help agents do that? And we do that. And one of the things that I also think is really important is to be able to do this affordably. Stalking, your lake can be expensive. I'm sure some of you on here have experiences with it. You've done lead generation, you've done, other things of how do you get in front of new consumers. And some of those things may be expensive, some of them may not. But, when you think about your business right now, staying close, something that it's something you have to do. But how do we get more, right? And so at Top Producer, we can now help agents get a steady stream of new fish in their lake. Imagine, every single month getting 25 or more, new consumers in your database that you can help in their journey. What does that look like, right? Is consumers today, and I'm using the word consumers because I think, we look at the word lead, but these are real people. They are consumers. They are going online. We all know that consumers start their search online. It's like 94%, I think. The numbers are astounding, and it's no surprise. Our life is built around searching online. It's what we do, right? But consumers go online, they search for real estate. What we do is we help target those consumers with ads to get them to inquire to you, right? And it's done in a way that, a perfect example of this, I love to use the analogy, is like, I'm sure we've all had this experience of, being retargeted. I'm going to talk about retargeting for a minute, where, you've gone online, you search for a barbecue. All of a sudden you go on like Instagram, you go on Facebook, you go wherever you go on the internet. All of a sudden you see ads for barbecues. You guys all had that experience before? I'm sure you have. Okay. And that's what we do for real estate professionals now, right? We help them target consumers who've demonstrated an online behavior around real estate in your local market. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because it's important to have a steady stream of people that is coming in at high volume. This is one of the greatest ways to add more consumers to your pipeline. What it looks like is we surface up ads around properties. People will you see them, they click on it to these consumers in your market, they submit a form, you capture them as a lead. They're at that point, they're still a consumer, but now they've shown intent to interact with a real estate professional. They come into you, and now you can build that relationship and participate in those consumers' journey. Why do I think this is really like critical right now? Is we need a high volume and a steady stream of new people to talk to right now. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, you can't make people in your database move. You just got to be there when they decide to. So if we can't make the move, what do we need to do? We need to build. We need to add. And we need to do it consistently, and we need to do it in high volume. Right? So one of the things, ask yourself this, man, how many of you right now could use 25 or more new people in your database that have shown and demonstrated online behavior around searching for real estate in your local market? How about if those leads were just exclusive to you? How about if those leads came in 99% of the time with accurate contact info, right? That's what social leads are, right? They come in with phone numbers, email addresses, names that come from someone's social profile. So it's reliable. Okay. So one is you need a reliable and consistent source of new people to talk to every month. Number two is simplicity. How about if you didn't have to do anything, right? You just sat back and let that all happen, and you reach out to those people as they come in and say hi and introduce yourself and introduce your services and learn about them, right? Our team does everything on behalf of our customers. Leave the complex tasks of having to run your own ad campaigns to us. All you have to do is choose your cities and how many leads do you want. Right. Our customers absolutely love how just hands-free this is. Reason number three is targeting, right? We are targeting consumers that have shown, have done real estate searches online in your local market, right? Someone said they're in, Bowling Green, Ohio, right? Consumers that have, gone online in Bowling Green, Ohio and searched for real estate, we're going to target them. And we're going to capture those people for you as those that have actually shown, that next level of, hey, I want to have an interaction with a real estate professional. Here's the one question I want all of you to ask yourself right now. Do you want to participate in those consumers' journey? And what I mean by that is their journey is going to vary. Some of them are just starting their search. Some of them are just starting to think about, real estate. Some of them are further down the line. The thing that is super critical, and if you're doing any type of lead generation today, you have to have the mindset that I'm going to stay close to those people and I'm going to be there when they're ready. And they're going to vary. Some could be now, some could be later, some could be a year from now. It's part of it. But I also think that's why you need to fish in a pond or a lake that has a lot of fish so that you get bites more often. Okay? But it's a really important question to say is like, gosh, do I want to participate in that journey? These consumers are going online. They're searching for real estate. I'm going to target them. We're going to target them and capture them. Do I, as a real estate professional, want to help that consumer in their journey and be part of it? The answer is yes, which it should be. You need to be doing this. Reason number 4, look, these people are free agents. Okay? Build relationships with them, right? One of the most important things that you need to be doing right now is staying close to everybody. Your existing network and all these new people, right? And the best way to do that is you have to be a valuable resource. Right now, people are looking for people that can answer questions and provide them value and talk to them and share and educate. That's you. No one knows your market better than you. No one knows the local market conditions better than you. And I think that's so important that you're sharing that and staying close to people, on a regular basis. And build those relationships, right? Relationships take time. Trust takes time. Credibility, all those things take time. You got to start somewhere. Hey, one other like really important thing too is don't just rely. I'm going to give you, this is one of the tips for today. Don't just rely on automated emails. Okay. I know sometimes like, oh yeah, I'm staying in touch with people, but look, we really need to make sure we have a multi-channel communication approach to reaching out to people. A phone call, a text message, email, market reports, whatever it might be. All that matters, but don't just rely on one. It's really important that you really have a multi-pronged approach to reaching out to people. The one thing, the biggest takeaway that I want everyone to take away from this is you can dominate in your market. Okay. You absolutely can. You just got to come back to those 2 principles that we talked about at the very, very beginning, which is, are you adding enough people? And are you staying close to the people that you have? It's quite simple, right? And it's something that Top Producer can help and partner with you on. One, we can get you a high volume of, hate to say it, we can stock your lake with a high volume of leads every month. It just starts at 25 or more, right? You want 75? You want 100, 125? How many do you want? How many fish you want in your lake? Top Producer can give you that in your local market, right? And then it's using, the smart follow-up to build those relationships and stay close to those people and participate in their journey. If you do those things, you're going to see growth and you're going to see return on investment and you're going to build or grow, a sustainable business, right? Some of you are on here probably wildly successful, but I'm sure you want more. There's always a hunger for more. Some of you are like, I really need to build, grow my business and I have these goals. We're here to help you with those things. But I don't want you to overcomplicate it. It is quite simple. Add a bunch of new people, get in front of those new people, um, and participate in their journey and stay close to them. That's really the biggest thing that you need to be doing today, and showcase your value. If you do those things, good things are going to happen for you. I really do believe it. So, the one thing also, because I do believe it, right? I want to help all you guys crush it and dominate your market. I want to help you all. So, look, I want to help you fill your lake quickly and with a lot of fish. So first off, um, anyone that signs up today or tomorrow, but preferably today, because the sooner you do it, the more leads you get. Uh, our social connect packages start at $250 per month for 25 more leads. But, big but here. Anyone that signs up today or tomorrow, I'm going to give you double the amount of leads for this month and also for all of May. So what that means is you're going to get an extra 35 or more leads at no extra cost. So, it'll be, whatever the rest of this month is plus all of next month. You could easily get, 60, 70 new consumers in your market to talk to in the next 45 days. It's very possible. How nice would that be? How many of you right now could use, 50, 60, 70, new people to talk to in the next, 6 weeks? That's what we're offering here. Same time, because I want to help everyone absolutely dominate and crush, I'm gonna waive our concierge service, which is normally $299. I'm gonna waive 100% of it for anybody that signs up today or tomorrow. And what that concierge service is, that is your personal coach and consultant who's going to help you get everything set up, help you actually achieve your goals and ensure that you're set up for success and be there throughout your journey, as you establish top producer, to build your pipeline and stay close to your network. You can give our team a call. It's really simple. All you need to do is determine, hey, where do I want to get consumers from? Give our team a call today at 1-866-329-0399. Tell them, hey, I want to get leads from this city, or I want to get in front of consumers from this city, and here's how many leads I can handle. Is it 25? Is it 75? Is it 100? It's up to you to determine that. Give the team a call. They'll absolutely be able to help you, and wish everyone a awesome 2024. Keep it simple. Make sure you're adding enough new people. Yep. And make sure you're staying close. Someone asked, is it available in Mexico? Not available in Mexico. Is it available in Canada? Absolutely available in Canada. Sorry, Miriam. Top producers available in Mexico. I just don't believe Social Connect is. It's available, both US and Canada. And just for everyone's thing, this will also be recorded, sent out as well, as a follow-up. But I really appreciate everyone joining today. Hope you guys got, those takeaways. Hope you guys, really, this helps you really build out a path to, dominating in the next, 18 months and get to your goals. We're happy to be a partner with you, as you do that. But definitely give our team a call. Tell them what cities you want, how many leads you want, and they'll get you going. Thanks, Joan.